Let us chant Om 3 times together. Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Gurave Namaha. I bow to God. I bow to all the divine incarnations. I bow to all the masters of all times and all places. I bow to my beloved Gurudev. I bow to all of you and the entire creation. Om. Amen. It is by the grace of God and Sri Gurudev we all have assembled here to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Sri Gurudev's coming to West, and also the foundation day celebration of this ashram in Tattendorf, Austria. A little ago, when I was sitting in the back and listening to the words of Joachim Baba, and he was telling his date of initiation, and his expression, how people come to Gurudev. And he told one interesting thing, one statement. People in India come to the spiritual master, the Guru, with 90% of worldly problems and 10% of spiritual questions. And in India, since time immemorial, is this practice of disciple-guru relationship. You'll be surprised if you read the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, you will find very interesting story of such relationship. Dasharatha, the king of Ayodhya, was very powerful. He did not take any decision without the consent, advice, and instruction of his guru. His guru was Vasishtha. If you think of the Pandavas, when the Pandavas went to exile, their guru went with them. The guru went with, and when the guru goes, the guru's disciples also followed. They're living in forest, no place to stay, no certainty of food. But all these Brahmins, the guru is a Brahmin, and all these disciples of the guru are following, you have to look after them. even if you are not a king anymore, but they are there. So the Guru became strength, even during exile, to give them support. So Gurudev told, the Guru will give you two things. Artha, Paramartha. He told in Indian language, Artha means peace or success in worldly life and success in spirituality, both. Artha is Muladhara, Sahasrara is here. So from Muladhara to Sahasrara. One young man, after meditation, came to bow to Gurudev. It is in West. Are you married? He said, no. Why you are not married? Because I have not got a right partner. He said, you have not got a right partner, or you just want to, window shopping. You understand what he meant. Today this friend, next day bye, next day this friend, as we heard, when somebody came and told Gurudev about, unclear whether that person loves me or not, Gurudev told, just simple, telephone and tell that I went to doctor and doctor told I have tuberculosis. And that the love disappeared. So Gurudev told this young man, do you want to marry or this? No, I want to marry. He said, then bring my telephone book. He had a telephone notebook and told, there is a telephone number. You telephone and tell that I want to marry you. It is West, it is not India. And what this young man would do, you will be surprised to hear they got married. And they are living till now married life, happy married life, very devoted, content, joyful. The Guru, as I told you, he's not just to, and don't come and knock my door. This afternoon, somebody knocked my door. I opened the door. Then he said, can I come in to talk to you? I said, it is first impolite to knock like this. I told. He said, yes, I realize. So, however, there are many gurus. The gurus, it is the classical verse, Guravaha, it is in Guru Gita. Guravaha bahava santi shishya vittapaharakaha durlabhoyam gurur devi shishya santapaharaka. It is said there are many gurus. They look at the purse of the disciples. Money. Purse, money. But very few gurus you will find who takes away the suffering of the disciples. When I was told to speak on Gurudev and his divine qualities, I told it is better to think of his human qualities. Gurudev and his friend, both studying textile technology, engineering. That friend, he was, you imagine Gurudev in his young age, quite handsome. That friend was not like this. He had pock marks, smallpox. He had smallpox and all these marks on the forehead. But he was a better student than Gurudev. So in the examination, the friend became the topper and Gurudev was next to him. But the contrast was, Gurudev was very good in practical knowledge. So in the interview, in one textile company, Gurudev became number one and his friend became number two. So they both accepted the job in the same company. This company had only one residence, and that residence came to Gurudev. Now Gurudev stayed in, and that friend of Gurudev, he was from an economically challenged family. Gurudev knew, and because they were classmates studying together, so Gurudev told him, "You can stay with me. It is such a big house." So they stayed together. When they stayed together, you might have read or heard about the story of Gurudev's and the coconut, tender coconut, his Vijay Krishna. It was the same residence where it happened. The story is, if I switch over the story a little bit longer, there was a young coconut tree which gave only 2 baby coconuts. And Gurudev, you can go and pluck it with your hand, so low. Gurudev was thinking, if this coconut grows little bigger, ready for drinking the water, because coconut has 2 stages. One is for drinking water, the other is for nut, when it is matured. So Gurudev, because people might steal. So what Gurudev did, in the midnight he would go and look at the coconut. So when the coconut was ready, he plucked these 2 coconuts for drinking purpose and bought a bunch of tube rose. It is aromatic white flower, and went to his Guru's residence, Sri Vijay Krishna. Vijay Krishna is sitting in his living room with quite a good number of people. Vijay Krishna is telling in humor that he is coming. Many nights he has not slept. He is coming with coconut for me. And few minutes later, Gurudev entered with coconut. When people saw that he is coming with coconut, and before that he was talking of the coconut and he has not slept many nights, people could know that he was talking of him. So everybody chanted Jai Guru, because they found some connection. Then Gurudev brought this coconut, bowed at the feet of the Guru. She said, "You have brought 2 coconuts. There are so many people. So how can everybody enjoy it? I will take 1 coconut and then you sprinkle the coconut water on everybody." In the same house, when Gurudev was living with his friend, the friend got married. The friend, still then, the friend's economic condition was not so great. The friend asked Gurudev, "Can I bring my wife, newlywed wife, and stay here?" It was having enough space for even all to live, no problem. Gurudev was a little bit concerned. Then he could not tell no. Now I'll switch over the story a little bit, the other side. When I came to Europe in 1994, I asked people, those who are closer to me, or closer means those who, if I tell somewhere anything wrong, or you can point it out later on that this was not good, it is not appropriate. So I gave the permission to quite a few. You can tell me later on, this is not good, this you should not tell. A disciple of Gurudev, in whose home we were staying, in Biham Gase, it was his inherited home or house. One day he told me, he told me, "You have told me to point out the mistake. I will tell you today the mistakes." I was happy to. He said, the first mistake is you don't know how to tell no. You are very sweet and you tell yes, okay, okay, but you don't tell no. Second is you love everybody, so you will be misunderstood. So come back to Gurudev. Gurudev, he could not say no. And this friend brought his wife, stayed in that house. Gurudev was very reserved during this period. One day he heard the wife is talking to her husband. That friend's wife was talking to the husband, Gurudev's friend. Oh, your friend is very beautiful, handsome. That was enough. Gurudev decided to leave the house. Not only leave the house, because he wanted to go on long leave. That is another cause when he decided to go to Puri. He was already planning to go to Puri, and he was waiting for when the time will come. But he thought, this is the time. No more to stay in this house. If I leave this apartment or this residence, my friend will get. And he took long leave and went to Puri. When Gurudev was telling this to me, then I was thinking that you can think in your own way, but I'm telling my thought. When I stayed with him, it was very interesting. When nobody will be there, he will be talking. He talked about his life, as I told you this story he told. He told disciples come, disciples do not speak what the spiritual teaching of the Guru, disciples discuss about the beauty of the Guru, physical beauty. And those who speak, remember, they don't have spiritual bent of mind. They are attached to the body, not to the spirit, not to the spiritual teaching. Gurudev told me. And when Gurudev was talking all this, then I was thinking, why he's talking all this to me? Why he's talking? Many times I was really little bit, but I was listening to it. Do you know, if you think this incident, it shows Gurudev's love for his friend. And Gurudev's love for his friend to support him because he was economically not so good. And he was a good student. To tell you how Gurudev was good in practical thing. Because during those days, most of the industries were owned by either British companies or some rich Indian people. But in this company where Gurudev was working, it was managed by the British people. There was a machine which was remaining unused for a good period of time. Nobody could handle this machine. On the first day Gurudev came, he saw this machine. Gurudev tried and he could operate it. And that day was really a big event. The machine which was unused for some time, now this young engineer could operate it. And that is how Gurudev became quite popular. And Gurudev was in good eye of the management, and which was by the British people. Just to tell another story with this textile company, Gurudev first designed one sari. The Indian mothers, they use long piece of cloth. Nowadays, here also people using saris. So Gurudev designed it. And that design, everybody appreciated that design. The first sari, they presented Gurudev, and Gurudev took that sari to whom to give. Gurudev, there were 5 brothers and 6 sisters. The eldest sister was so elder that her first son and Gurudev, they were of same age. The meaning, the daughter is and the mother is. And during those days it was happening. The mother is going to give birth the child, and the daughter is also going to give birth the child. And Gurudev's eldest nephew and Gurudev, they were of same age. Sister's son and Gurudev. So Gurudev's youngest sister was nearly quite a few years younger than Gurudev. Maybe 3, 4 years, 5 years, even more. I have written somewhere. Exact years I don't remember. I met her in Puri when Gurudev was there many times. Even she was the only one alive from Gurudev's brothers and sisters. We had interview with her. Very beautiful. And Gurudev brought this sari and gave to his youngest sister. I'll tell one story of the brother and sister. Gurudev was the youngest son in the family, the 10th child, and she became the youngest of all, the younger sister. What one day Gurudev has done, earlier Gurudev was going and taking food with his father. And now when she is there, she came and sat with the father. What Gurudev one day he did, he took this sister and made her sit at a place where she cannot get down. So sitting there, you sit there politely, don't jump. If you jump, your leg will be injured. Sit there. Then Gurudev came and to sit with his father to take food. Gurudev's father asked, where is she? She is meditating. Where she is meditating, see, go and bring her. She should sit with you and take food with you. The brother and sister. You come back to the same story, Gurudev and his friend. He has kindness and compassion. At the same time, he had discipline not to allow any type of emotional, when she's appreciating the beauty of her husband's friend, because Gurudev always told, when he used to initiate people, another thing I'll tell you. I sat with him, and while he is initiating, hundreds of times I sat. So I knew all these mantras, what he was chanting, I knew by listening to him. I knew what he does, how does he initiate. I knew all these things, no need for any orientation. To training that you have to chant this, you have to do this, you have nothing. I knew this. So when Gurudev used to bless the married couple during initiation, Gurudev used to tell, your husband should be in your eyes to the wife, the most handsome person of your life in the world. And you, looking at the husband, your wife is the most beautiful. No one is more beautiful than her. That should be the attitude. This is what Gurudev. And when Gurudev heard that this friend's wife is speaking about Gurudev's nature or appearance, Gurudev said, enough is enough. This is the time. Now Gurudev took leave and came to Puri, stayed in Puri. It is human being. I don't know how many of you have known that Gurudev smoked. Yep. So that's why I want to tell you the human person. Gurudev smoked. Not for long period, but for some time. Do you know how many pairs of trousers he had? how many pairs of trousers. And he's coming to Puri to be a monk. And he has brought all these. I'll not tell how many. So I'll tell one story. Coincidentally, today is the birthday, according to the English calendar, today is the birthday of Swami Shivananda Saraswati of Rishikesh. According to the lunar calendar, today is the birthday of a holy man, very divine personality. He's still alive, young. He's the monk from Vrindavan who comes to Balighai and Malukpit Maharaj. His birthday is today. Swami Shivanandaji had a disciple. This smoking I'm talking of. He was very powerful and dynamic. Before he became disciple of Swami Shivanandaji, he was a journalist of a newspaper owned by Nehru, and it was before independence. And Nehru told him, this journalist, you go to the holy cities and look at investigate the life of all these sadhus, write something will expose. This young, dynamic journalist coming to Rishikesh, I have heard that he kept his bicycle in Delhi in the train station, took train and reached Rishikesh, and he heard about Swami Shivananda, and he came, and the motive is to look, to see, and he later on wrote, I came to expose, but I was exposed. I came to investigate, but I stopped it and I became his disciple. He left everything and he became a monk. Later on, one day he was giving a talk, a series of talk on the Gita, very powerful speaker. After talk, at one place he was smoking. And the letter came to Swami Shivanandaji that your disciple gives beautiful talk. But he's doing, after Gita, Jnana Yajna. Yajna means after that he's doing smoke Yajna. You know. So Shivanandaji wrote a letter, and that was enough. One letter is enough to stop. When Gurudev stayed in Puri, in the rented house, smoking, playing cards. Do you know this? Playing cards. Why this happened? When he started staying in Puri in a rented house in the beginning, he became friends to quite a few rich Bengali young people. And, company. And when he decided that it's enough, I have to move into ashram, I came for meditation, I didn't come to have friendship, I didn't come for socialization, I didn't come for... So he finally, when he told his friends that I am going to ashram to be a brahmachari, the friends laughed. What, you? He said, yes, me. They could not believe. A fashionable, rich, and in their eyes, extrovert. How can he? And Gurudev did this. And Gurudev came to Kodar ashram, smoking goodbye, all his clothes. Gurudev told me, do you know what I did? First I thought I can give to poor people. Then I thought, once these poor people use these clothes, they will think we need more. Why to create desire in them? They are content with what they have. He did fire ceremony of all his clothes in the ashram premises. And he started living. Gurudev told Swami Sivananji, who was quite, I told the other day maybe here, how Sivananji was quite strict and tough. I have many friends, they might come and he said, don't worry, I'll take care of you. Gurudev was so grateful to hear, I'll tell you later. We heard from Joachim Baba that when he was telling that how if somebody helps a little to Gurudev, Gurudev will shower blessings, gratitude like anything. And this is who Gurudev is. You help a little, he was so grateful. I have seen in my own eyes, because when I was listening, the thought was coming, how true it is. You help a little and he speaks, or he gives so much. Swami Shivananji, Gurudev was telling later on that he became really a protector for me. When these young friends came to see that what Ravi is doing, from the entrance he will shout and drive them away. You cannot enter the ashram. He was like this, he was tough. And you might have heard that how tough he was. Even when Anandamayi Ba came to see Gurudev, he did not allow. He thought Anandamayi Ma may be another crazy lady. He didn't know who Anandamayi Ma is. Gurudev heard from his room the voice of Anandamayi Ma and came out and touched her feet. Gurudev left his residence, came to Puri and stayed in ashram. And every few months he was sending letter to his company. He was not living. And in India it is possible. I don't know it is here possible or not. You go to a doctor and get a medical certificate that he's sick, and you can extend your leave. And it was done. One day thought came to Gurudev that why I will be so weak. And I'm telling, it is what I'm writing, it is not truth. So why can't I leave job? I'll come back to my life. I got a job. I got a job without applying for it. I didn't know. After my master's exam, I went to the Himalayas. I spent some time in the Himalayas and I came back. When I came back, I was thinking where to go. Should I go back home? Should I continue study further? I could have continued. Should I prepare for some examination to have a job? I didn't like it. And where to live? That's question mark. So that was a big period of transition in my life. Little bit sadness, little bit, because the other day I was telling the problem. It was a little bit challenge for me what to do. I didn't want to go back to my family. That was clear. I didn't want to bring money from them to tell that I'm going to study further, because I'm not going to fulfill their wish. Why to spend their money? Even if they could give, why to? Because study is not my purpose. Can you imagine? My friend saw me and told me, you have got a job. He said, how could I get? Then the story came up. In my absence, it happened in India. Nowadays, it is not possible. I'm telling it was, how many? 41 years ago? 41 years ago, this happened. My friend, looking at the advertisement in the newspaper for this job, applied in my name, putting my name as the signature of the applicant, with all the documents. Documents are correct. From my school till master's, all the testimonials, all the career points, all these. We call mark sheets. I got selected because of the career. No interview, nothing. So came for physical fitness examination. You have to go to the district medical officer. They will check you are physically fit for this job or not. Another friend of mine went, a Muslim friend. He went in my name. And people know when somebody is coming and telling I am so, and usually they are good students with good career. So nobody verifies your identity. One friend applied in my name, another friend went for my physical fitness examination. I got the job. I got the job when Gurudev told me to come here on leave. Then I stayed here longer. I went back after 6 months, little more than 6 months. Then Gurudev changed the name and all these. I came back, I sent my resignation letter to the government because the job was gone. So I sent the letter that as I renounced, so I'm resigning from my job from the state. I applied in the month of, in April, May from here, 95. 96 I went, my resignation was not accepted. Why? I inquired why. Said, why you are leaving this job? You can continue. I said, I'm not staying here. You can come once in a year and join, and then after 2 days you can take leave and go. Your job will continue. Then what will happen? You'll get pension. You'll get other financial benefit. This was happening during those days in India. And during Gurudev's time, you come back. It was even, so Gurudev was sending medical certificate, and so Gurudev decided, I'll send resignation letter. So he wrote the letter, went to the post office and give to in the post office for registered post, and it was sealed. And then Gurudev got the thought, oh God, why did I resign? I should not. He told the person in the counter, can you return my letter? He said, no. It is already registered and stamped. I can't. You go and talk to the postmaster. When Gurudev was telling this incident, he was telling how human mind can be weak. This is human nature. We get this type of weakness at any moment of time. We'll get weakness. Should we become weak or should we rise above it? Ordinarily, people with weakness of mind become weaker and weaker. But Gurudev said a spiritual person at the time of weakness should turn the mind towards God. No, enough. So what is happening to us? When we discuss about this, about life of Gurudev, and Gurudev stayed in ashram. Then he wanted some change in ashram. We all want to change. Here, one thing I will tell you. What I saw in Gurudev's life, even in ashram life, Gurudev came to West in 1974. I saw Gurudev in the year 1980 onwards. Gurudev was commuting between West and India and coming back, going and this. I saw in ashram, there was no telephone. There was no refrigerator. What I saw, and forget about a car. For Gurudev, it was nothing difficult to have a telephone, to have, refrigerator, to have motor car. It was nothing a big deal. Why he did not allow this? Gurudev came to West at the age of 67. Till Gurudev completely left India, till 96, ashram didn't have motor car. He used public transport, sometimes disciples' car. And during those days, not too many disciples were having cars. He came, I'll tell you, Gurudev and me. one disciple of Gurudev. He was a very prominent attorney in Puri. And this attorney was very close to Gurudev, and he really served Gurudev in many ways. One day he was old. He fell down in the bathroom. He had, hip injury, broken hip, hospitalized. Gurudev told, this is Gurudev's statement. For old people falling down in bathroom, having hip injury, it is not a good sign. So Gurudev wanted to go and to see him in Puri hospital. Gurudev told me, come. He started walking and I also started walking. I didn't have any, even little shoe on my foot. And I went and called a rickshaw. It was maybe month of May, June, really hot. But the road was also quite hot, to barefoot to walk. So me and Gurudev, we went and saw him in the hospital and came back. And why I'm telling how Gurudev lived using rickshaw. Gurudev used to come to Puri train station to ashram rickshaw. A thought, this is my thought, seeing him, and did he not have enough money to buy a car? The answer is yes. If he would have desired to have a car, would not any disciple or disciples fulfilled his wish? The answer is yes. But why he did not do this? Although he had the ability to get all these things done, he did not. I'll tell one funny story. When I started staying in Vienna, the first group meditation in Diefenbachgasse, evening, I was requested to go. I went there. After meditation, so there was some tea, maybe some cookies, maybe some nuts. So after meditation, so I took one pistachio and opened it and ate and left. Do you know what happened? People thought that I love pistachio. So they started bringing pistachio. It was in Tattendorf during lunch time. So there was in a bowl pistachio. So I was passing on the bowl. Then normally Gurudev used to come and to see everybody taking food and this, and then he goes back. He called me to his room. I went to his room. He said, do you know pistachio is expensive? I didn't know the cost. I looked at him. If you eat like this, are you going to make an ashram here? Very simple question he asked. Are you going to make an ashram here eating pistachio? The question is, simple life he lived. In ashram, he did not want to have anything which is, we need moderation, discipline. Gurudev never wanted to bring extrovert stage, extravagant expenditure. If there is, suppose, use it for good purpose. Use it for, not for personal. I forgot one thing. I told you Gurudev I saw him, Gurudev using polyester. I was confused why he is using this. When I came to ashram, I found at that time, mostly he was staying in Kodar ashram, sometimes in Bhubaneswar. So his usual clothes was simple tee and a t-shirt. That's all. dhoti and t-shirt, and that t-shirt also, because it was Guru. Do you know? By the way, if Gurudev would have been now in Vienna at this time, he would have been so happy. Do you know why? In the month of September, we are sweating, and this is what Gurudev. He will use a t-shirt and will dry his body sweat with the t-shirt, and he will leave it and put another t-shirt. And sometimes with the t-shirt, he will make little fan, to cool his body. He used this dress. It is in West or while traveling. That's all I observed, because it was not his usual dress. So Gurudev lived such a beautiful life, an ideal life for how to live, when Gurudev came to Miami, he first wanted to cut down the trees. He wanted to cut down the trees. And he told in the ashram, because if it is a big property like Balighai, fine. When the property is small, there should be flowers and fruits, vegetables. Big trees, they cover up. Do you know what happened? Gurudev wanted to cut down one tree, and the residents didn't want it. It was in Miami. I was in Holland ashram. The telephone came that Gurudev is doing this. I said, if Gurudev is doing this, so to stop Gurudev in doing this, what they did, they went to Gurudev and they told, Pragyananda is unhappy. Telling lie. In the ashram, you are telling lie. And near Guru, Gurudev's Pragyananda said this. Yes, very good. Call in the ashram office, whoever was working, call this mother to write a letter to Krishnema. Now, Pragyananda, what did he tell? I forgot. They said, if Gurudev is doing like this, he is not coming here anymore. Did he tell this? Yes. So then Gurudev told that, write Krishnema to book ticket for me, I'm going back. If he's not coming here, why should I stay here? Then the telephone came to me that we told this. So why did you tell this? Because they got scared. Then telephone came from Gurudev. We were talking. I didn't talk about all these things. Gurudev started telling, do you know, they don't know you, they don't know me. And they are telling that you are unhappy and you will not come. So this is what Gurudev is. When we went to Miami ashram, do you know what Gurudev told? We'll keep cows here. I went to Gurudev. I said, Baba, we can't keep cows here. Why can't we keep? In Kodar ashram, we kept cows. We'll keep cows. Baba, here it is USA. So what? We'll keep cows. We'll get fresh milk. And in Kodar ashram, we sold milk. And that was a help for running the ashram. So people can come and buy milk from here. And I said, Baba, this is USA. People will not buy like this, and we cannot keep. Then, can you imagine? Gurudev told to make a cow shed. I said, okay. I didn't, do you know, I knew Gurudev. I didn't want to. Okay. So the cow shed was built. It was a nice cow shed in the corner of the property, and which was for some time the residence of Mangalanji. There was no real cow. Recently, I told that we should have a picture of a cow at least. Gurudev wanted cow, we couldn't keep. And that was true. So even 25 years nearly that cow said, and still surviving, little old and this, but still there. When we had cows, for example, in Texas, this thought came, if Gurudev would have been now, he would have been so happy that we have cows. Gurudev was very, to understand him, to understand his message, his life, his teaching, it is quite, as we heard Joachim was telling, that he used the word tricky, he was very, but it is very, how to say, difficult if you are not tuned with him. You have to be tuned with him to understand him. That is why when Gurudev told me, Baba, it was long ago in Kodar Ashram, he told, nobody has understood Hariharananda. If anybody will try to understand me, Hariharananda will be crazy. Then looking at me, he told, you will have understood 5%. And that is enough. And every day I think of him. Every day I feel his presence. Most of the night, I dream of him. However, yesterday somebody was telling, a teacher, he was telling he was reading from autobiography of Yogi on Sri Yukteswarji, when Yoganand is writing on him, on Sri Yukteswarji, and then about his resurrection. How the Guru disciple. Speaking of Gurudev again, when I came here, I saw Gurudev's room. Then I thought we should have in his room his father, mother, and Vijay Krishna's picture, his first Guru. So we got the photo, we made the copies, and we kept in his room. And when Gurudev came, it was done in shooting Gase. These photos were kept, not in behind Gase. When shooting Gase, we moved. So, and he was so happy. But I knew that. Then I remembered, you tell why we made this, his parents. Those who have gone to Gurudev in Puri, in Kodar Ashram, if they remember Gurudev's room, if this was the bed of Sri Gurudev in his room, on the opposite side wall, there was a bookshelf, wooden bookshelf, and on the wall there was a small framed photo, small picture of his father, small picture of his mother. In the middle, there is picture of Vijay Krishna. It is small frame. It was hanging, black and white photos. Once a group of sadhus, monks, they visited Kodar Ashram, they came to Gurudev, and usually the sadhus, they are very curious and they want to, see everything. How does he live? How does he, where he sleeps, what he does, everything to know. So they were looking and they were looking at the wall, and in the Gurudev's room also, one picture of Sri Yukteswarji, one picture of Jesus on the cross. Jesus on the cross, Mother Mary there, and snake, and it was near the wall clock. If you remember, there was a big wall clock. There was a wooden bench. Above that, there was wall clock. By the side of the wall clock, this picture of Mother Mary and Jesus on the cross. So people used to see what is there, what is there. So the sadhus asked, who are they? Gurudev said in a very humble way, told the parents. And my teenage guru, you are a sannyasi, you are a monk, still you have your parents' picture here? What type of sadhu you are? Gurudev said in a very humble way, not countering, because ordinarily we'll tell will justify. He said, do you know, I'm trying to be a sadhu. Till now, I have not become a sadhu. Have blessing on me so that I can be a sadhu. This is what Gurudev's reply. When Gurudev was telling this, and many times Gurudev spoke about his parents and all this, so we decided, or I told, can you keep the pictures? And they are in Miami. In Miami. I don't know how many they have really seen. Gurudev's pillow, and where he kept his head, there is a wooden cabinet with a drawer. On the wall of that, because when he lies down, he can see the how many tiny, tiny pictures. Whose pictures? Jesus everywhere. There was Lord Jagannath, there was Mother Kali, there are quite a few small, small Hindu idols. It was there on that place. And one disciple went. He was a little bit, I told the other day maybe, he counted how many pictures of Jesus, Mother Mary in Gurudev's room, and he wrote me a letter. That I saw this many pictures in his room and this many pictures in the ashram. I didn't find so many pictures of Krishna or this. So I told you, came to have darshan of Gurudev or to. So this is what Gurudev is. Gurudev, to understand Gurudev is not so easy. To those who really follow, his teachings are very straight. Teachings are very clear. Love your breath. Watch your breath. Stay in fontanel. And he gave, as we are hearing today, that he used to tell that your spine becomes a hollow pipe. Sometimes he will tell your spine has become a well. You have to draw water. The water bucket is coming. The bucket is, while going down, the bucket moves very fast. And when you draw up, it doesn't move so much because it is heavy. So with this example, he tells the pulsation, vibration as you feel. He used to tell the example that in a cup of milk, if you put a spoon of sugar, the sugar is mixed. You can separate it. So your devotion, God consciousness should be mixed in you so much, you'll be saturated. Saturated just like the milk is saturated with sweetness. Your life will be saturated with beauty and sweetness. Let us close our eyes for a moment. With deep love, let us think of God and Sri Gurudev. Let us pray to God and Gurudev to bless each one of us to be sincere, disciplined, and strict, to be truly good follower of the path of the masters. Let us pray to God and Gurudev for our own spiritual growth, for peace and prosperity, and let there be peace in the family, in our society, in the entire creation. I bow to God. I bow to all the divine incarnations. I bow to all the masters of all times and all places. I bow to my beloved Gurudev. I bow to all of you and the entire creation. Om. Amen. Thank you all. Joy Guru.